Whenever he can, rain or shine, but mostly rain, he makes the drive. He knows this place, understands its back roads and pathways. It's a ritual, this trip, a thing he's done so much that it's almost like a reflex.
You ready?
I'm ready. We're good.
He's a lifer, 70 years living in the wettest, dampest top left corner of the wettest, dampest top left state in the United States of America, Forks, Washington. Eventually, the horizon opens up to an untamed world, a raw place, windswept and rugged, and beautiful, the way a storm is beautiful. It is Rialto Beach, and John Anderson takes off walking.
What are you thinking about when you're out here?
Just thinking of finding something cool.
When his eye catches something that is washed up on shore, he snatches it up. It happens again and again.
Where do you think that stuff came from?
The little plastic floats is what they use. Mostly the Asians use for their nets. And these are crab pot buoys. That's the local Dungeness crab fishery. They lose a lot of buoys.
John knows the water here. He understands the currents.
If you were to throw a note in a bottle out here on the current, it would take 6.5 years to come all the way back around.
He is a beachcomber, aren't we all? But you've never seen a beachcomber quite like this. His home is also a museum, a beachcomber's museum, a place like no other. Outside, a giant pillar of floats and buoys reaches skyward, thousands of the things, and everywhere there are homespun flotsam features.
And everything in here, all the stuff you found.
Yep.
But inside where he keeps his most prized treasures, a strange and wonderful world awaits.
This wall here, these bottles here are Suntory whiskey. That was the preferred drink of the Japanese sailors. This is one of my prize finds. This is an anchor chain from the 15th or 16th century. This is a really cool deal here. This is center spinner cone from a Boeing 727 jet engine. Boeing was going to come confiscate it, and I said, good luck with that.
It is a cluttered boneyard of bits of boats and pieces of other people's lives that have sloshed around the world and washed up ashore from who knows where.
How old when you first started?
22.
You were just a kid.
That's that same year I met my wife in 76. And been going ever since.
Fishing lures, forgotten dolls, Raggedy Ann heads by the dozen, hundreds of lighters, shoes, a sake bottle with a snake inside, a mammoth tooth, and bins of toys that floated away. Anything and everything. And stories, amazing stories like the friend who found a slipper.
He'd been to the beach and he showed me this slipper and it had Mr. McCloskey and a name tag across the toe of it. And he goes, poor Mr. McCloskey's running around with one slipper. I go, oh, that's pretty cool. And a year later, and about 12 miles north on the beach, I found the other slipper. When I retired from plumbing, my buddy Kurt Esmeyer and a couple of beachcombing friends said, well, you ought to open up a museum. You're the only one in the country, beachcomb museum. So, yeah, you know, I got things I want to do, you know. Here, and you looked at this hat.
But when he thought about it, it was a museum that he wanted to do.
And the signs are really cool.
A labor of love for the lost and found.
Now this is my favorite of the whole museum, this float here. It's nobody's found one like it. This is the World War II life raft radio.
A life raft radio from World War II? What story would it tell if it could talk? And then there are the messages in a bottle.
How many letters do you have?
I got this many. I don't know, I never counted them.
All of these washed up on shore in a bottle, from romantics reaching out into the world the old-fashioned way. And kids, too.
He says, I got 2 brothers and 1 sister. My dad wrestles a lot. I got a stepmother too. She is lazy. Your friend, John.
Everything here has a story. Everything here belonged to somebody, somewhere, lost and somehow eventually found. John Anderson has a story too. He goes to a raw place, a windswept and rugged place where the water spits up treasures for him to find and keep in a strange museum that is found in the wettest, dampest, top left corner of the wettest, dampest, top left state in the United States of America.